excited. You know, anytime we get to fight, you know, what I consider, you know, Atlanta, my hometown, you know, man, we can have family, friends out, and the support that Greg been giving, and, you know, the media, you know, has always turned out for a exciting event.
Definitely. I don't know if you guys have checked out his record, but you're almost 50% on knockouts. I think like 13 knockouts?
Yeah, 13 knockouts.
So is that the game plan every time you go into that ring, knockout, or you just decide then?
Nah, most of the time if it comes, it comes. You know, most of the time you just want to be, you know, properly prepared and, you know, in condition. You know, and if a knockout comes early, then, you know, that's even better, you know, early night.
Early night. Well, you're about 38, is that the case?
Yeah.
You're close to my age. But I actually just sat down, still young, I just sat down with Cedric Boswell, and he's 40, 30 and 1. So clearly it's not an age gap. Do you see it as that?
No, definitely not. Anytime you don't, you know, abuse your body, you know, then age is really not a factor as long as you're mentally ready and, you know, keep somewhat in fit shape, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, you know, I don't abuse my body, so, you know, I don't, you know, stay out partying, you know, I don't, you know, drink and a lot of stuff like that, don't smoke, so, you know, it'll be a nice event.
We're all excited actually for this. Well, what's the game plan? Obviously you don't want to give away too much, the cameras are here, but knowing how much is on the line for this, if you take on this title, there's unlimited opportunities.
Yeah, that's basically the game plan, to go in, you know, first and foremost to win the fight, you know, come out with the victory, and basically use it as a stepping stone to, you know, to get back to where I once was. You know, which, you know, I feel like that's truly where I belong, and that's what we're going to get back to, you know, at the top with the elite fighters in that weight class.
Great. Any special sponsors you want to thank?
Well, first of all, you know, thank the promoters, you know, Shay Bailey and, you know, and Greg and Walkout, you know, for giving me this opportunity, you know, for bringing, you know, the excitement of boxing back to the city of Atlanta, where I feel like, you know, this is where it should be, you know, with all the champions and all the, you know, that we've had, and, you know, and all the, you know, prestige that comes along with the title of Atlanta. You know, I'm very excited about it.
Well, best of luck. Before you go, I actually want to ask you about, how did you get the nickname T-Rex?
Actually, from my trainer, who's not here now, I guess he's running a little behind schedule. He sort of came up with it, you know, as far as in the gym. What exactly made him come up with it, I don't know, but it sort of, you know, stuck with the other guys in the gym, and, you know, more people kept calling me that, and more people kept calling me, and I just adapted it into my name and, you know, stayed with it.
Well, best of luck. Any questions? All right, go get them.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
How are you doing, Paul?
Doing well. Good afternoon, Kimberly.
Paul's one of my favorites. Paul's actually who I train with, so make sure you check out Delgado Boxing up on Roswell Road.
That's it. 49-20.
Huge opportunity. I mean, it's amazing to be #1, but to get a world title shot, what did that feel like when you got that call?
Amazing. Mind-blowing. It was something that I've been waiting for since I was 13 years old. It's always been a dream of mine, so dream come true. Now we gotta go take it the other half, and that's bring it back to Atlanta where it belongs.
What do you say to the naysayers that say you don't deserve this opportunity and it should be them instead?
Well, it's my turn. That's all I gotta say. It's my turn. Everybody gets their turn in life, and this one's mine.
Well, obviously you are one of my favorites. You're going against Jan. He's known for his knockout power. How do you combat that going in knowing he's 30-1? Are you ready to make that 30-2?
Of course. They don't understand I got knockout power too now. They don't know that. It's a secret.
It's a secret. You're also known for your strong jaw. So I guess, is that going to be part of the game plan? Obviously, you can take a hit. I've seen it. I've
Yeah,
seen
of
it
course,
multiple
of course,
times.
of course. If he lands, if he lands, we're more than willing to take it. We'll take 1 or 2, 3, 4, whatever. We're not going nowhere, that's for sure. It's gonna be a long night.
I'm sure you have tons of fans here in Atlanta. I've seen it. You sell out crowds from Center Stage to 200 Peachtree. Is the only fight going to be in Germany, or are your fans going to be able to actually see you guys back here in Atlanta?
I'm hoping they can stream it here online as well. But what I heard, you should be able to. It's going to be on regular public sports channels there in Germany and Slovenia. So you should be able to stream it here live online. So, you know, time difference is 6 hours, so it'll be sometime around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon here in Atlanta. So hopefully that information will get out to everyone within the next day or two. So looking forward to it.
When and if you do take home that IBF World title, where would the next fight be? Do the promoters get to come here, or is the next fight going to be in Germany?
Well, the next fight can possibly be in Germany, but we signed the co-promotional deal possibly with the company out in Germany. So the next 3 fights are going to be split between the U.S. and Germany. So it's up to Greg Barkoff and SES Promotions there, based out of Germany, to see what's best for the IBF defense. Of course, Jan Zabit gets a mandatory defense, and we'll be more to do it either there in Germany or hopefully here in Atlanta. And that's the goal, to bring it back here.
Oh, I'm sure your fans love that. Always an exciting fighter. Any special sponsors I see you want to thank here?
Mix One, great drink. Try it. Pick it up.
All right, thanks so much, Paul, for your time. Any questions? All right, let's hear from Paul Delgado.